Hi, everyone. Welcome to another session of Getting Real Estate with Stacey. I'm very excited about today because I have Seth Levy from the Seth Levy team with Mia and Kunal from Signature Premier Real Estate, and they are here with me today. Hi, guys.
Hi, how
Thanks
are
for having us.
you?
Happy to
Thank
be
you
here.
for being here.
Good
Thanks for
to see
having
you,
us.
Stacey.
So, my first question is going to be, how did you guys get into the industry? So, I'm going to start with you.
So I got into the business about 13 years ago. My family is actually in a different side of real estate, commercial real estate. I wanted to stay within the industry, but do a different end of it so that I could feel like I did my own thing, that I carved my own path and made my own way. So 13 years ago, I got my license and I went out there and I worked for a great company, learned the business, learned how to market homes, learned how to differentiate myself and my clients' listings. And I've been doing it ever since, and I love it. So.
How'd your family feel about you not wanting to go into the
they-
commercial end of it?
They were very supportive, honestly. They wanted
Excellent.
me to spread my wings and fly, so to speak. They wanted me to do my own thing,
And you have no regrets?
No, not at all. And they're
Good
very
for you.
proud. You know, my family lives locally, so they all see what I'm doing. You know, they have friends in the area that are telling them that, hey, we got Seth's postcard or his penny saver, or we saw his video. So it's actually a beautiful thing.
Nachas is like we
Yes,
call it.
100%. It's very rewarding.
And how about you, Maya?
I have to tell you, I always was into architecture and real estate. I have two small kids at home. And when I realized, after being a mom for, a stay-at-home mom for many years, I finally realized, what do I want to do? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take the plunge and I'm going to do it. And I found my niche and I feel like I'm where I need to be.
So what inspired you to go into real estate, though? Like, was it somebody that you knew? Did you have a good experience with an agent?
I had a great experience with an agent as well. But I think it was just more of, you'd be on Home and Garden TV and everything looks so glamorous, although we know it's a little different in real
Right.
life, right?
Especially after the pandemic.
Correct.
Crazy.
But I think I just wanted to build a better life for my kids, and I had the time to do it, and it was flexibility and everything else, and
There was a
it just took off.
There was a local realtor she kept getting postcards from and seeing his videos on social media, and she's like, "Who is this guy?"
Can't get away from
I
this
knew
guy.
Seth Levy before I even knew I wanted to go into real estate.
Because she got my postcards and
That's
so
great.
yeah.
So you connected with him, and did you automatically become working together? Is
Yeah,
that
we
how-
started
Correct.
we started working together as soon as she got her license. So we've been working together since.
Wow, I
So
like
I've been in the
that.
business a year and a half.
Very
And she's
nice.
closed an amazing amount of deals.
Good for
Yeah.
you. Good for you. And your experience. So you started before or after the pandemic?
Just after.
Okay, so that was the toughest time.
During
to-
the pandemic is when you really realize, what do I want to do with myself here? I had two kids I was raising, which is amazing, right? You get so much
course.
gratitude being a stay-at-home mom, but I wanted something more. I wanted to build my own,
your own
path.
name and to have your own,
And
of course.
that's when I did it. And I, there was
for
no
you.
looking back after that. And I feel like where I'm supposed to be.
She's a selling machine. She
It's
really
funny
is.
because
Thank you.
I have women that have been realtors, and they've brought their kids with them to closings, and every time they did, that sealed the deal. Have you ever had to do that?
I brought my kids to many meetings and actually even to showings.
Okay.
Out east and things like that where we can do fun stuff afterwards. So that was like
that's
their little
great.
bribe of getting them
Right.
to come with me, and then
Right.
we'll go
Yeah.
to like have dinner and go to the jump park after.
It
you
also
know,
shows you as a
Closers.
person.
Yeah,
It
they
also
were the
shows you
closers.
as a person, as a woman, as a mom, as opposed to just being a realtor. Because
Correct.
that's what they say. You have to show people that you're not just, a realtor. I'm not just in this for business. I'm in this as a person, as a mom. People can relate to you.
My kids are super involved. I feel like in my work, and they're like my number one cheerleaders
And
along
they're
with my
super
husband.
cute too.
Oh, yeah, I saw a picture.
They're
Beautiful.
adorable.
Bunch
Yeah.
of mini-me's.
Beautiful.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
they're like my little clones.
Right,
That's great.
basically.
My older one told me she wants to sell houses someday, and I go, "That's
Aw.
great, Zoe.
That's
You know,
great.
like maybe you can."
And
also
how old is
think of-
she?
She's 7.
And she wants to do this already. That's
Yeah.
great.
Just wants to do
Couple
it.
more years to
Most
go.
people 17
Absolutely.
or 27 don't even know what they want to do.
Correct.
At 7,
Yeah.
she knows what she wants
It's
to do.
amazing.
Yeah.
And how about you, Kanal?
So I didn't even realize this till right now, but my story is the complete opposite of Seth's. So I started in commercial real estate in 2015, right out of college, did that for 6 years, and then joined up with Seth. Basically, I tried joining before the pandemic, but obviously we couldn't do anything. So
The market was shut down.
yeah, we couldn't leave our houses basically. So right as soon as we opened up for business, that's when I joined with
So
him.
were you getting his postcards as well? Is
No,
that how-
I didn't live on the South Shore then, but now I do, and I get them every single week.
That's great.
Yeah.
So how did you end up coming to?
So
Meeting Seth.
somebody told me to research the top team in the area. When I did,
Wow.
found
look
him
at
right off the
that.
bat.
Right,
And I was like,
Great.
I live here now. My wife grew up on the South Shore, so automatically met with him, clicked right off the bat, and It's been good. 2.5,
It's been an
3
amazing
years
2.5
later.
years. Yeah, really
It-
has.
it's great since being here with you guys today. I see the camaraderie, and it feels so
Yeah.
natural and organic for you
Right.
guys
We're
the way you are
family.
together. I
We
see
definitely
that.
are.
Literally, we work
We
so
go
well
out to
I love
together.
dinners,
that.
go out at night.
Oh,
Like,
I
it's not
love
just
that.
like a business
That's
Birthday
how-
relationship.
parties.
That's how
and-
we
Yeah.
are here too. It's almost like a family, and
Has
that's
to be.
why your clients feel comfortable because it's not all serious. It's like
Right.
approachable and who you are. It's great.
There's nothing
Correct.
that's forced at all. Everything that we do is natural. We work incredibly well together. Everything flows. They know what I'm thinking. I know what they're thinking. So it's
great.
And we collaborate on different ideas and
That's great.
And spitball, so to speak, so that they're telling me, hey, Seth, that idea is crazy. Tone it down or that's
And you
a great
listen,
idea.
which is
and I
great
do.
also.
I really
Of
do
course.
because I trust their
That's what we need.
instinct.
Can't all be yes men because then we're not going to fix anything.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah, and who wants somebody on their team
Exactly.
like that anyway?
Yep.
What do you think sets you guys apart from other realtors out there?
I think so. Listen, there's a ton of realtors out there, and there's a bunch of amazing ones. I think what sets us apart from the competition is the level of marketing that we do. Just the amount of effort and money that we put into presenting a new listing that we're putting on the market, whether it's the photography, the video, the print media campaigns, the social media campaigns. Literally everything that we're doing, it makes the listings look a little different and unique, makes them stand out and
Absolutely.
get that attention that is going to help our seller, our client, but it also helps us as agents because it makes us look good and it helps us to stand out by just going the extra mile for the client. So
I agree, and I follow you also, and I see it's like a little video, and you watch it, and I'm like, wow, that is just
we try to give them just a little bit so that they want to see more.
Correct.
Because if we give them everything now, what are they even going to come see the house for? They saw it all in the video. So
right.
it's got to
Exactly.
be fun. It's got to be exciting.
It's intriguing. It's like, oh
Yeah.
wow, I see that. I want to see it in person.
If you see a movie trailer, it's 2 minutes.
Exactly.
They give you a taste of the movie so that you want to go see the movie. We're giving them a
Correct.
taste of the house so that they want to
Exactly.
go to the open house or schedule a private showing and actually come
Very
see
true.
it. So
So, how do you guys feel about being? You've only been on a team. You guys have never worked solo, all of you, correct?
Correct.
Right.
So, what are the advantages of being on a team as opposed to not being on a team? And what are the advantages?
Again, having 2 small children at home, I rely on these guys for a lot of things. If I can't make it out there, I know who I'm calling. I know they'll be there.
Right.
Just having that support, I know they have my back and vice versa. So
That's
we're all
great.
there for each other, and we jump in when we need to.
Yeah,
That's great.
I wouldn't say just join a team to be on a team. It needs to make sense. You need to get along with the people. Because if your personalities don't fit in business or outside of business, when you're working with a client, you're not there, and they start working with someone else on your team while you're away, it could completely turn them off, and
Right.
you might lose that client. So
there has to
being
be, right, there's got to be synergy within the team essentially so that, like Kunal said, if somebody is covering for another agent, that same client feels like they're getting the same representation, the same high quality service from whoever it is on the team. And listen, people have things going on. Some people go away on vacation. Some people just have things come up. So it's nice to have the support of a team to help other people to go on listing appointments with,
Right.
to, whatever it may be, to do any kind of marketing or just have something to run ideas by. And, so
I agree. That's how we are here. Very similar. It's not like every man for himself. It's you're a team. You have each other's backs. You bounce things off of each other. That's
you have
how
an
it is.
amazing team here.
Oh, thank you
I mean,
so
you really
much.
do.
Thank you very much.
Like a well-oiled machine. Everybody working
thank you.
together. Everybody's
Yes.
happy. It's
Thank you.
It's a refreshing thing to
It
see.
is.
It really
It
is.
is. It
Right.
is. Especially if people think bank, they're like very intimidating. It's not like that. We're
Right.
very approachable.
Right.
We here. You're not a social security number. You are a person. Actually, it's
We
funny.
feel it.
I got a text last night at 10:40 at night from a borrower, and she texted me, and I responded immediately. It like you guys. It's not a 9 to 5,
Right.
5 days a week. It's a 24/7,
It
and
doesn't-
that's
It
what
doesn't
yeah.
stop.
That's why people see the difference between realtors like you and loan originators like us and banks like us. It's the service. And that's
The
that's
accessibility.
the accessibility.
Being around all the time
Correct.
to answer the phone whenever it rings,
Correct.
because you have to in this business
Agreed.
if you want to make money.
So you what do you think that who is Seth Levy? Tell me a little bit about who Seth
I'm Seth
Levy
Levy.
is.
Who
Can
is
the real
Levy?
Seth Levy please
Please
stand
stand
up?
up, right?
Please stand up. Please stand
That's amazing. I am somebody who is looking to provide next level service. I am somebody who's looking to support a team of amazing people who get out there every day to list and sell houses, representing sellers, buyers, with the best tools. I want my clients to feel like they're getting next level service, and to know that they're getting next level service through the negotiations, the communication, the representation in the marketing, which I talk about all the time. But it is so important because you get one chance to make a first impression. I make all these social media videos that I'm posting, and they're so often tuned in to first impressions, because it's the most critical thing in the world when
Absolutely.
you're selling an incredibly expensive asset. So Seth Levy is somebody who sees that there is an industry out there. He wants to raise the bar continuously.
And be the best dressed as well
Oh,
while doing
listen.
so.
Always.
While doing so, I have to say,
Come on.
yes, you are. You
Thank
definitely
you.
are very
I
well
appreciate
dressed.
it.
You should be giving off, lessons to not like to people out there.
Listen,
A little fashion
GQ.
advice,
That's
right?
That's his backup
Yeah.
Instagram
we'll take a
page.
shopping trip to the mall one day,
GQ meets the real deal.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, listen, we like to have fun. We want to make the process enjoyable for everybody, for the agents, for the clients. I talk to my sellers sometimes about listing appointments and how exciting we want to make the process for the buyer. And, it's important for them to understand, the seller, that the more enjoyable the process is for the buyer, the more the buyer is going to pay for your house, and the faster they're going to open their wallet to spend the cash. If they love the experience working with the realtor, if they felt that realtor made the house look better than all the other houses through the photos and the video. So, it's getting out there, it's being a little different, being dynamic, and having a reputation for, for being next level, so
level.
to speak. Yeah.
It's funny because when I watch your videos and I see the way you present yourself and the way you come off, it's like it seems like you're intimidating or unapproachable. But meeting you and being with you in person, and seeing how you collab with your team and how they feel about you, I'm very impressed. I have to say.
I appreciate it.
I have to say.
Like I said, it's, selling a house, it's not an easy thing for a seller, for a buyer, for the agent. So it is so important to make every day an enjoyable day, and to do whatever you can to add a little excitement to the process. So if we can make it more fun for the clients and for ourselves,
Right.
we do it.
Absolutely.
I like to have fun. I love the people that I work with. So,
Right. Can't even
Exactly.
think of it as work all the time.
They say
No.
if you get up and you love what you do on a Monday morning, then you're not really working. It's something that
Correct.
That's
you
true.
enjoy doing.
yeah.
What would you say as far as your deal? Like, what would be your most incredible deal, or something, a deal that you had that was different than any other that you've had that stuck out in your mind?
I think we've all had
Sit
some
out.
pretty amazing deals. If they want to start, and then I'll say
Yeah.
mine, just because I've been talking.
I'll go for it. I feel like the best deals are when you get to connect with the buyer or seller and they become friends afterwards. We've had some buyers that we've gotten along with so well. We go to their house on holidays. I have a waterfront buyer. We go see the fireworks every 4th of July at their
that's
house.
great.
We've done 3
Yeah.
deals with them, looking to do the 4th this year. And those repeat clients, because they have that separate touch of being friends and family, not just clients, it
Of course.
So-
really feels
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
I just want to add to that because it's incredibly important. So that was, Kunal met that buyer, that Massapequa waterfront where we watch the 4th of July fireworks. He met them at an open house when he had first started in the business. It was it was a different town, but he met this buyer. They came into the open house. He said, listen, if you're not interested in this house, I'll show you other houses, like any good realtor
Excellent.
should.
Right, of
And they said,
course.
we like you and all, but we're going to go to the listing agent. He said, I'll send you a few. If you want to see them, you'll call me and I'll show you. Long story short, he sold them an incredible house in Massapequa with views that are off the charts. And like he said, we're friends to this day.
Yeah.
So,
And it wasn't even in the area that he was looking at originally.
it was
a
two
Couple
towns
towns
originally.
over,
Yeah.
yeah.
but somebody
Good for you.
who
Best-
didn't even want
best
to work
views for
with
4th
him.
of July.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So are you saying it's persistence? It's just being their needs, listening to what they're looking for.
It's connecting
and
with people. It's
connecting
not
with
just
you. I
it's
get
not
it.
just like working and trying to sell them
Correct.
something. I'm not a salesman by all
Correct.
means. I'm way more relaxed and calm
Right.
and collected.
Very.
And they sense that.
Yeah.
Because it's like when, for in our industry, in my industry as well, they don't want a salesperson. You
don't
want
want
a
them to sell.
person,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
a real person that, it could be a neighbor or a friend or family. And if you treat them like that, even though they're not, they sense that. They
Exactly.
see that, and the experience will
And they'll be loyal to you for that reason.
Exactly. And there's nothing better in advertisement than word of mouth.
Exactly.
It could be bad or
Referrals
good,
are the
especially.
best type of
Correct.
repeat business.
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And how about you? What?
So, I think the relationship part of it is the biggest thing. So, I've worked with neighbors, I've worked with people that I've met at open houses, which I'll never forget. A couple came in to an open house I was working at, and it was snowing outside. They were discouraged. This was like their 7th house that they had seen, and it seemed like nobody gave them the time of day. It was snowing out. Walked them outside to their car. Seth had come out right behind me.
We had a nice conversation.
And we had a
with
little
them.
conversation with them out there, and they go, no one's ever given us any attention when we come into these open houses. And guess what? We ended up selling their house in Glen Cove and finding them a beautiful house in Comac, and I still keep in touch with them till this day.
Treating people like people.
Yeah.
Correct.
100%.
That is the motto. Oh,
And I
maybe
still
that's
keep in
actually
touch.
something I should use. Treat
You
people
might
like
want to.
people.
I like
Right.
it.
Back on the
And
spot.
that's the key, I think.
Beautiful.
And how about you?
So one of my best deals, or one of my most memorable deals. So I grew up in Wantagh, and I grew up down the street from a beautiful family. They had 2 daughters, and obviously the husband and wife, the parents. The kids had moved to Merrick, both the kids, and one of them actually got a job down in Florida. So they had reached out because they wanted to sell one of the houses in Merrick. I didn't realize at the time that the whole family was going to be moving down to Florida, which was this house in Merrick, another house in Merrick, and then a house in Wantagh. So from this one relationship that I've had since a child, since growing up, I was able to get
Deals.
3 deals out of it. All of the deals closed beautifully, nice and smooth. I mean, it was an amazing thing to work with people that I've known for so long, and to help them all move on to a beautiful new chapter of their life.
That's
So
great.
it was very nice, and it's incredibly rewarding.
See, these stories are touching because it's real life experiences that people are having.
Yeah. Right.
It's like I say all the time, purchasing a home is the biggest decision other than getting married, which, and the biggest purchase you're ever going to make, most
better believe
people
it.
in
Right.
their entire life. And I hear stories about real estate agents or loan originators that don't follow through, that drop the ball. How do you do that? Like, how do you do that and expect, referrals? Like,
Right.
I
You
don't get
can't.
it. I don't get it,
It's-
especially in this industry, the way
It's
things
crazy.
are today.
Yeah,
I
listen.
think it's a learning process for everybody, right?
100%.
Or
So
some people just don't care.
You start
Right.
working with a buyer, and sometimes you work with them for 6 months, and maybe they're just not ready. They think they're ready, but they
Right.
might not be ready. And then you work with someone for 3 weeks, and you get them an accepted offer, and
Right.
the closings, 2 months later, which is great. But sometimes you just kind of hold their hand through the process, and you
Correct.
build that
Exactly.
relationship, and
Exactly.
it happens organically and naturally. So
It's a reputation thing too. It's we've been in the business. I've been in the business for 13 years now. They've been in the business for a bunch of years. We're not going anywhere. We love what we're doing, so we're going to be doing it for a long, long
Right,
time.
exactly.
So we work and strive so hard to build this great reputation, so that people call us to buy a house, to sell a house. You can do things nowadays that will destroy that reputation instantly. And if I was retiring next year, maybe I wouldn't care so much to be
Right.
so concerned with the reputation. But
Right.
because I am so invested in this, I don't have another job. This is all I
Correct.
do.
This is your
and
full-time
I'm-
gig.
And I'm doing it for a long, long time because
Exactly.
I love doing it.
Right, and you have a team that represents you, and you
Correct.
want, and their reputation is just
it's
as
so-
not, if not as much as yours. is.
100%. And I'm proud with the reputation that I have from
Absolutely.
my team. I mean, I get calls from other agents that say, "Hey, I just did a deal with me and Kunal and everybody else, and and I loved working with them. They were phenomenal." And I hear that, and it's such a
That's like
beautiful thing for me.
equivalent to like raising your children, and
But
they're going to somebody else's house,
Right.
and the mom's like, "Your kids are great. I really did a great job." And I'm like, "Really? Because at home they're not great." No, but
Yeah.
yes,
Of
but it
course.
is a similar
it's a
kind
proud,
of thing.
it's like a
100%.
proud dad moment.
This is a reflection of you.
Yeah,
a reflection of
it's
you.
amazing.
That's
Proud moment.
great.
Listen, they're amazing to me. I think I'm good to them. Like we said, we're a team that works beautifully together.
love that.
Because there's such good energy in the office, not just with us, but with all the other teammates too. Who you know, and it's such a great thing to go into the office every day and feel like you're right back in your living room.
Right.
So that by the end of the day, you're not like, oh, I want to go home.
Right. I can't wait to get out of here.
You're just like, hey, I'm
Like,
hanging
what
out.
are we doing
Right.
today?
Right.
Right.
It's like you say, it took you 15 years to become an overnight success.
Correct.
And it takes one deal from any of us to mess that up.
Right.
Correct.
Got to make sure you're on the ball.
We don't want to let them
24/7.
down.
Yeah.
But I think that if you lead with the right intentions and your client is always first,
Right.
and how could you go wrong?
have nothing to
I
worry
mean,
about
You
at that
always
point.
have,
Yeah.
as long as you always have their best interest in mind, and you're
good.
you're not just into it for the dollars. You're into it for the client and the
Correct.
person and what's best for them. When you lead with that type of mindset, they sense it.
Yep.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I get it.
They feel it. They literally,
absolutely.
and like we said a couple of times, this is one of the most, $1 million listing and all these reality TV selling Sunset, whatever they are. They make this look so easy. Glamorous, exciting.
Easy.
Everybody wants to be
Right.
a realtor, but
It's so
buying or
true.
selling a home is actually one of the most stressful things that anybody does. So when people call me sometimes and like, I want to buy a house, and I'm like, are you sure you understand the entire process? Because we'll get you into one, but
Exactly.
sometimes it's a long process depending on
Right.
how you want to deal with it. Sometimes it can be quick. It depends on what your motivation is. But we want to walk the buyers through, make everybody feel comfortable because it's a stressful process. And
So that brings me to my next question.
Sure.
What advice would you give buyers, first-time buyers coming into this? Like, what would you say to them?
the best advice a first-time buyer could have would be to go to Lakeview Mortgage Brokers, call
Oh,
Stacey Becker, and get pre-qualified 100%.
Pre-approved. Because
Pre-approved.
pre-qualified
Sorry.
is not the same. Pre-approved.
Yeah, pre-approved is like creme de la creme. there.
Right. No, pre-approved is like you walk into a house, you put a bid, you know that you qualify already.
For that
and
house.
There's, it's not like they can accept your offer and then it's like, okay, I can't
I
afford
need all your
this.
docs.
Right.
Yeah.
Pre-approval is 100% the way to
Correct.
go. It amazes me a lot of some realtors do bring people out and they don't have that, and then you don't know.
I would say that is the most important thing. As a buyer going out there looking for a house,
agree.
you need to know how much you can afford, what your monthly payments are going to be.
Exactly.
So that you can look at your
Correct.
personal finances and say, this is something manageable for me. I
Correct.
can do this. Or maybe this is too much. I need to, adjust
Scale
my
down.
expectations.
Or you're going to this beautiful house with your family, and the kids, look, this is my bedroom. Oh my God, I love it. Look at the backyard. Look,
Yeah.
at there's a swimming pool, and then you can't afford it. And then
Correct.
it's like,
Correct.
oh my God, you're defeated. It's like everybody's,
Yeah.
feels
Get-
whole thing
You
stressful.
get
Deflated.
out there, you know what you can afford. And,
Correct.
I would say that that's
The other thing is, which I actually brought up in a couple of my podcasts, is people don't really realize their credit score. And when we pre-approve, we run the credit, and then we're able to see what they qualify for, and obviously we know that the credit score will have an impact on the rate.
Right.
Even if they're in the process of looking for homes, we can do credit repair if need be to get them into a better rate. So this is the best word of advice. I agree with you. Wow. Agreed.
Yeah.
Very good.
I mean, there's so many different pieces of advice. I guess
I think
you can
like
give a buyer
trusting
out
your
there.
agent, right?
Yeah.
Trusting your agent. We're going to guide you in the right direction, and you kind of have to move the way the market moves. Also having communication with your mortgage broker, your mortgage banker, whoever you're working with, just full communication
Correct.
and kind of having that trust in them.
Right.
And when you have a good team behind you, I
Correct.
think that,
I also think
all possible.
the relationship between the realtor and the
correct.
loan originator needs to be constant.
No question.
100%.
Because if you're dealing with the client and I'm dealing with the client and we're not dealing with each other, it's like it needs to be uniformed. They need to understand that this is we work together, we're a team, and that's how it goes. And
Correct.
makes things
Nice and
go
smooth.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. This way, if there's a
Yeah.
hiccup, it's dealt with immediately.
And they can't try to time the market. If they're waiting for rates to drop to a certain point, they have to understand there's not inventory right now is so low. By the
Yes.
time you get an accepted offer, the rates could be completely different. So just
Right.
make sure you stay within your means, make sure
Exactly.
you're in your budget and looking for what you specifically need on a house, and you'll be
Correct.
good to go.
Being realistic.
Yeah.
It's
Be
literally
realistic.
everything is about expectations, about being real with what you can afford by getting pre-approved to know what you can afford. But once you know, to not go out there and look at things that are just
Out of the range.
out of the
Do
yeah.
you feel like you're dealing with a lot of clients that do that?
I think social media has just done that.
yeah.
Yeah,
These
I think
days,
so too.
everybody wants everything by the time they're 25 years old.
Right.
And that's
Correct.
just not
God.
realistic
Instant
for everyone.
gratification.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not
Instant
realistic.
It's not realistic, especially like you said, the inventory now is so low.
Super low.
Had it been a year and a half ago,
Right.
it was different.
Right.
But now, things have changed, and that was my next question: how are you guys handling with buyers, but sellers, but even as realtors, like the change in the market over the last 2 years? Well, you just came in after the pandemic, but for you mostly, Seth.
So, truthfully, the market was very good right before COVID. It was a seller's market. The market was very strong. Obviously rates have come up, but people are always going to need a house. I mean, people are going to want, whether it's a condo, co-op, or single family, they're going to need a roof over their head. They're going to obviously have a family, or they're going to need a place for themselves. So despite rates going up, despite prices going up, there are people out there who can still afford the houses.
I
Rates
don't realize it though. And
Right.
that's-
Rates go up, they come down.
Right.
Prices go up, they come down a little bit.
Correct.
But historically, real estate has always gone up. So rest assured that, even if you're buying now and you feel, my gosh, the prices are just so high and, the rates are so high, look at the 100-year chart for home values in the United States of America. You're good. Buy now, and I guarantee you in 50 years, if I'm around then, the values are going to be, the values are going to be up significantly.
Not just that, if they buy now and the rates drop, you could always refi. But doesn't owning a home, isn't that better, paying your own mortgage than paying somebody else's mortgage for the
100%.
Correct.
rental and the landlord?
There's certain
that,
tax write-offs and benefits in that regard.
Absolutely.
So,
and it is still, you're gaining equity. You're building up, money in your own home rather than paying rent and purchasing, for somebody else's home.
And there's
They're-
100%. There's a certain pride of homeownership too. I mean, we get photos all the time from our clients that we sell houses to, and they're sending us pictures of what they did to decorate, what they did in the backyard. Look at my
Right.
new pool. And we're like, wait,
Correct.
can we go swimming?
great.
But it's it's nice because listen, if you rent something, it's great too.
Of
but
course.
it's not your own. It's nice to own, to build equity, to have certain
Absolutely.
tax benefits and whatnot,
Right.
and to know that at the end of the day, it's all yours.
Right.
You made it the way it is, and it's your.
I
little
also
baby.
don't think that many people out there realize that there are so many different loan programs for first-time home buyers or people that have never purchased a home or their fourth, fifth, sixth home that works for regardless. If you have a down payment, you can use a gift. There's so many things out there that
Right.
people don't realize. So
I didn't realize how many different loan programs there were until you and I sat down a couple of times. We really went over everything because, there's no one fit that's the best. I mean, everything
Absolutely.
is kind of custom tailored depending on
Correct.
what the
Financial
buyer,
need, the
the
financial
buyer's
needs of the buyer.
situation is.
Correct.
And, so
Correct.
it's interesting to know that there are so many options out there when most people think, hey, there's,
Cookie cutter.
Right, it's a
Perfect.
15-year,
It's
it's a
not
30.
one size
Right.
fits all.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
like that. Absolutely not. We change with the times. That's what it is.
We have to.
Gotta roll with the punches.
I feel like
Exactly.
there used to be a time where it's like if you're not putting 20% down, it's like, whoa, why not?
Right.
Right.
And now you see every different loan type, and they all go through. They all are closing
Correct.
deals.
If a parent has money to give as a gift for down payment, we can use 100% of that for the down payment. I mean, there's so many things. People don't realize this because they're not educated enough about
Right.
what's going on out, in the mortgage industry.
Which is why it's important to get together often, like we do, and kind of, like I said before, and I hate the word spitball, but like that's kind of what it is. We're all talking about what are the changes in the industry, and how can your changes help us close more deals? What do we know about changes in the industry that are going to help you as well?
Yeah.
Because listen, we all like to live a good life, and we just. At the end of the day, we want to go home and have a good meal, and
And feel
be-
good about our relationship and what we did that day
Correct.
with our people, our
Right.
team, our
Accomplishment.
borrowers.
right,
Exactly.
what we got done
I
together.
agree. Well, this was amazing. I'm so thankful you guys came in.
Thank
and
you for having us.
I continue to
Thank you.
meet the rest of the team and have them all come
Absolutely.
in here, and this was great.
You're
Yeah.
the best, Stacey.
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
We'll see you soon.
All right, sounds good.